Hello, welcome to Cerulean Arts Gallery. Tonight we're speaking with Stephanie Rogers in conjunction with her Cerulean Arts Collective Exhibition, which is on view now through June the 30th. Hello, Stephanie.
Hi, Mike. Nice to see you.
You too. Thanks for being here tonight.
My pleasure.
So tell us a bit about the show.
This show consists of some works that I've reworked and um, some are new. But basically, it's just kind of getting deeper into some of my older work and bringing it up to more of the current feeling that I have today for what I'm doing. Some of them, obviously are inspired by landscapes. A lot of them are actually, I find a lot of comfort in the outdoors and being in nature. And, um, and then this one, some interiors too. And this was kind of like from COVID, a couple of the interiors where the seats are empty because, there was a lot of empty seats because people got sick, but also, in the restaurants and cafes and things, people weren't going, so they were empty. So, and yeah, and this landscape is more current, and it was just done with inks and watercolor, very liquidy and light, translucent. And that's sort of a more tropical feeling to it, I think. I use different medium, like I'll use watercolor, I'll use acrylic, I'll use sometimes inks, ink pens, and sparkles and different things that interest me at that moment. When I paint, I don't go into it with a drawing. I go into it with a gesture, and then from there, I just let it show me the direction. Sort of, it's improvisational. And I like to work from color and my feelings because I feel that I want the painting to be alive and to move and to have energy and to sort of have a form and then be formless. And so that the viewer can look at it and just begin to imagine maybe the place, maybe the feeling something out of it. I don't want to tell them. I just want to give them a vehicle to move in and find what they might need to see. I like to feel that they're in flux, like they're moving in their space for me to change it if I want to. Just because, for me in nature and in life, everything is moving. And so nothing is stagnant. And I appreciate that. And, I'm a different person half an hour ago than I am right at this moment. So I like to have that openness and to be open-minded and to be welcoming to what's next. And that in my painting too. I don't like to force it. I like to just, the best is when the music's playing and I'm just with this painting and it's going where I want it to go and we're both having a great time. And then of course, it's come to that hard part. And then I have to sit with it and turn it upside down and just try and find that, the balance and the rhythm and the movement that I'm looking for and the feeling. So I like to sort of and so in this painting, you can see it's, maybe a tree, some clouds, a bird, the rain's coming down. But if you turn it upside down, maybe it's not that at all. Or if you look at it, sections of it, it becomes, much more abstract. So,
So Stephanie, are you working on these like really directly in the beginning and spontaneously?
yeah.
And
In the beginning, it's, yeah, very directly. And then I kind of put down like the larger spaces that like and then from there I'll go into it more in detail. But it's like the one color, one gesture will inform the next one. So and yet I would sit with it. Like they take a lot of time because
Mhm.
once that's done, you sit with it and then you kind of figure out what's the next step. And and sometimes you may take the right step and it's working the way you want, and then sometimes it doesn't. So then you have to sit and, the whole time it's not as though I'm just closing my eyes and painting. I mean, it's,
Right. You're
you know,
evaluating along the way.
exactly right. And it takes a lot of evaluation, I feel, because, you don't have an endpoint necessarily. Um, and you have to figure that out. And that's probably one of the hardest things too. And to have balance in it, to have, so the eye can move around and, um, so it has a visual appeal.
And how does it feel to, revisit older paintings and rework them? I mean, do you recognize your mindset from that time? And, just wondering about that process.
Yeah, like some parts of the paintings I'll really enjoy. And I know I've been told by other painters, sometimes the part that you really like is the part you have to get rid of.
Right.
So so I try and do that. And then, it's frustrating in a way because, you see what you didn't like about it and what's not working. And yet there are parts that you like. And so that's why you didn't, um, you know, just totally destroy the painting. So sometimes it's more frustrating to work with older work because you have to break through the other side of what you weren't able to break through before. So, and to make it work the way you want it to.
And when
That
you
makes
rework,
sense.
do you like scrape them off or sand them down or anything, or are you adding paint
Sometimes,
on top of
yeah.
it? Yeah, you scrape it.
Yeah, sometimes I'll scrape it. I'll use some gesso and wipe it down and just kind of block off different spaces and then
Mm.
go work back into it. Um, or I'll,
And
maybe if it was acrylic, I will work with oil um, pastels or oil sticks. And then, sometimes I just use my hands and just like work in there. But a lot, and then I'll wash and wipe and wash and wipe until I get sort of what's pleasing to me. So,
are there artists that you're inspired by?
oh yeah, very inspired by Bill Scott. Of course, I absolutely love his work, and also Amy Stillman. I am loving her. Um, and you know, I guess of course Matisse and all the French impressionists. Um, can't think of anybody else right now, but
Yeah, it's always a changing roster, I
yeah,
thought. Mhm.
right. But yeah.
I
So,
mean,
and
color
I also,
seems, oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, color
Oh,
seems to be very dominant and important to your practice.
yes. Yeah. Well, it's an emotional process for me. And so for me, color is the emotional, and it's sort of the vehicle to express the emotions. And I like playing with color, and I don't really lay out a palette at first. I just kind of um, you know, go along, see what happens. Try and make different colors work that might not normally work.
And are you titling
Traditionally.
the pieces like after or during or before, or how do you, I mean, do they sort of coalesce at the same time as the painting?
Um, Usually after. Um, yeah. Sometimes I'll take a lot of thought to be honest, for the title, and sometimes it's just frustrating for me to think of one because uh, I'm just trying to say what I'm saying in the painting, and so I don't want to put words to it because then it might not mean that to somebody else. So I don't
Right.
know. So it's kind of takes away from the free kind of thought that I, you know, like to express in
Hmm.
my work.
Well, I can tell you from the gallery perspective, people don't like untitled, so it's
Oh,
good.
really?
Some
They don't
sort of
like Untitled One and
right.
Untitled Two?
They want to know something.
Yeah. I mean, some people are so creative with their titles. It's amazing, but I'm
Yeah, it just
afraid
depends
I'm
where
not one of
you're
them.
coming from. I mean, your work is definitely about the presence of the painting.
Yeah.
This one I especially like the way it's like, you know, pushing at the boundaries of the format. You know, the circular shapes are like they're contained but bulging out. You expect to see rounded sides almost. It's bumping against there.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I liked painting with that. I liked because it made, I started thinking of like there was a painting I had, and there was a certain section of it I liked, and so I thought, let me blow that up, and so that's what I did, and then um, kept working it. So this is a painting I've reworked from a while
Hmm.
ago. But yeah, I always liked it. Something about it I liked.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
interesting. I mean, the work has, you know, the illusion of very like direct painting that it just happens like very quickly and everything's in its place. But so the fact that you work on them over time is like really hidden there, you know.
Mm.
You don't see that toil, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's toil, that's for sure. And so here, this is more like a landscape, which did have some toil in it too, because this one, I reworked this a few times. So I like bright colors too. Um, try and find some joy in the world right now.
Yeah, definitely. I
And
mean, your work does have a very optimistic tone to it. A lot of it to do with your color choice.
yeah, well, there's always hope.
Right. Yes. Otherwise, what else is there, right?
Exactly. And so you have this landscape, this I say it's a landscape, some sort of landscape, but it just reminded me of the 60s. It's kind of psychedelic in a way. But, heavenly.
Uh-huh.
So that's my show.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a really
Thank you.
wonderful show, Stephanie. We
Thank
love
you,
it.
Mike. Thank you so much.
And the show is up through June the 30th. We hope people can come down and see it. And everything is also available on our website, ceruleanarts.com. And thanks again for being here tonight.
Thank you, Mike. It's a pleasure.